Yo, what up, what up? It's your man, Big Brandon Carter. Last time I reviewed 3 books, people said they wanted more. I'm gonna give you 3 additional books that have impacted me tremendously. Like I said before, I've read hundreds of books. You can see the big ass stack. You know, I'm a certified speed reader. I read up to 600 words per minute, twice average. So I read like 2 books every week. So like the ones I'm giving you are like the cream of the crop. These are the ones that have impacted me the most. The first book I want to get into is I have like several copies of this book, but I found the original one, the first one I ever read, and this is Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins. I don't know if you can see it. Some people hate on Tony Robbins, like, oh, so it's bullshit motivation, or it's just a bunch of rah-rah. But it's not just a bunch of rah-rah. There are tools in here, man, that really, man, like this shit changed everything for me, man. Like I was kind of like a bitch ass nigga before I read this book. Like I'm not even gonna lie, I was like soft and just, I mean, I'm a totally different person after reading this book and applying the principles. Like just totally different, night and day, like night and day. And it's something I still come back to every few years. I got a bunch of highlights and pages, you know, bookmark. I have this book on my Kindle too. Like this is, I mean, you can't go wrong with this book, man. I'm telling you, people say, oh, I don't need no motivation, or they think it's bullshit. Yo, you just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. All right. This book right here will change everything. All right, and it's not necessarily, again, it's not necessarily a fitness book, but it helps you with any goal that you're trying to accomplish. It pertains to all goals. Now we will move on to a fitness book. Basically, the bodybuilding Bible, as far as I'm concerned, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. And this shit right here, I read this when I was in high school, man. I mean, it's not necessarily a book you have to read from cover to cover, so like don't be intimidated by the size. It's basically encyclopedia. Like you can just go in here and just find parts, or you can go to the table of contents or the index and just find parts that are applicable to what you're trying to accomplish. And he has some routines in here. Now, the one caveat about this book, I think that the routines in here are just too intense for someone who's not, you know, on the juice, you know what I'm saying? You know, Arnold was definitely on the juice, you know what I'm saying? He said it, you know, it's not me, like I'm not dry snitching on him. This is what he said. But that aside, it's still just an excellent book, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to necessarily use the routine, or maybe you can, what I did was I modified it. You know, I used certain versions of the routine, but I modified it to it's just too much volume for someone who's not on roids. I think. I might be wrong though. Like your body might be able to handle it, you know, naturally. I don't know. For me, it was just way too much volume. So like I had to tone it down a little bit. But aside from that, just fucking goddamn every exercise for every body part is in here. You know, like, and with graphics for each. And just like, it really doesn't get any better. When it comes to bodybuilding, if you're trying to put on some of that muscle mass, it doesn't really get any better than this, as far as like, no, I mean, some of the nutrition advice is outdated. Just because there's newer like ideas doesn't mean that this is rendered moot, you know, because even though it's old, the ideas out here are not just totally antiquated. Like people got fucking big. People got in good shape using the techniques in this book. 6 meals a day. People say that's just a totally antiquated idea and it's no longer applicable in bodybuilding. Yo, people got fucking huge. Hundreds of people got huge off 6 meals a day, me included. So, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. It's this book changed things for me. Finally, another book I read while I was in college, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Almost all my financial decisions and business decisions are rooted in this book, you know, and the philosophies that Robert was talking about in this book. So if you haven't read this, you're just at a disadvantage financially. You learn all about assets, liabilities, financial statements. Just, you know, get your money in order, man. It's like money's not everything, but it's kind of like, to me, it's like oxygen, right? Like you want to have enough that you don't have to worry about it. As if you're suffocating, that moment you'll realize how important oxygen is, right? You might take it for granted until you're suffocating. And I feel like money's kind of the same way. Like you fucking kids, you know, you spend money all crazy, but like if you're ever in a position where like money's scarce, then you'll no longer take it for granted. But then hopefully you'll never have to reach those depths. I've been there, you know. But anyway, this will keep you out of the fucking poorhouse. just a quick side note. I was reading something in my other video, a video I posted a while ago, and some people were saying, "Hey man, you don't sound like no fucking speed reader. You sound like you read like a 6th grader, man. You fucking fraud." And I'm just like, yo, because reading out loud and speed reading is fucking totally different. Like when first of all, if I was reading out loud at 600 words per minute, I would sound like goddamn Bone Thugs or Machine Gun Kelly or Twister. You know what I'm saying? When you're speed reading, people ask me to do a video on speed reading. I'm not going to do it. I'm not qualified to teach it. You know, if you want to check out Iris, maybe I'll put a link to Iris in the description where you can check it out. That's the school that I went to, the classes I took to hone my skills. Anyway, when you're speed reading, first of all, you're not reading out loud. First of all, unless you want to sound like Bone Thugs and Harmony. And second of all, you're not even reading the words in your head. What I mean is like if you read something, the boy threw the ball, right? You don't say those words in your head. Like normally you say those words in your head. When you're speed reading, you don't want to say. That's called sub-vocalization. You want to eliminate. The key to reading fast is eliminating sub-vocalization, and it takes practice. So like you kind of just see the word without doing any sub-vocalization. You just see the word and know what it is, and you know, continue, and you get faster at that, and that's when you start going fast. I'm not qualified to teach you how to do that. You know, here it is right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Iris, you know what I'm saying? Speed reading course. They forgot Big Brandon Carter, but you know, it's implied. So yeah, I don't read as well out loud, you know, as I do when I'm reading in my fucking head, you know, but I don't think anybody does. But anyway, I digress. All right, so those are the books. The links in the description. The links will be in the description if you want to check it out, as well as list the links to Iris Speed Reading School if that's something you're interested in as well. People kept asking me to do a video on it. I'm not qualified, but Iris says I think they have a YouTube page too. So anyway, leave some comments on books that you recommend. You know, like maybe I can learn something from you. That helps.